Hey guys, what's going on? Long time no see. Today I'm gonna go over a little deal that I ended up finding on a good old Facebook marketplace. Now this deal, um, I was unsure at first, but I went ahead and went through, paid the guy for it. I'll just kind of show you what it is. Say 2005 Honda Rancher 350. It's electric shift. It's two-wheel drive. It's only two-wheel drive. There's no four-wheel option on this one that I have. It didn't come with these wheels. It came with original tires, or the light bar. So let's go over what was wrong with it, and then I'll talk about pricing and stuff. So it was a non-running four-wheeler. Guy had it for sale. He marked it for $800 on there, and I looked at it, and I seen this front rack was, you can kind of see it was smashed in, and it still kind of is. I pulled it out since then. Didn't run. You hook a jump box to it. It didn't even try to start. It just clicked. There's a relay back there by the battery, and it just clicked. And he just didn't want to mess with it. So I said, okay, I come over there. I check it out. First thing I do is I check the oil. I pull the cord a couple times. Well, I smelt the gas too. Checked the gas cap. There wasn't really anything in it, and what little bit was in there didn't smell too great. But I did. I checked the oil. The oil was clean and clear. It smelled good. Had good viscosity. All that good stuff. I checked the air box for an air filter. I was gonna check it. It actually had an air filter. A lot of people, for some reason, like to take the air filters off these four-wheelers and not put one back on. So to me, that was a promising sign. So I pulled the cord. I guess he didn't realize there was a pull cord. Pulled it a few times. Of course, it didn't start there, but it felt like it had great compression. I checked the glove box back here in the back. This little dry box, well, it's not even really a dry box. It gets wet in there. Had the original owner manuals in it. I said, there's no way. So I said, okay. I offered him $500. He countered me with $600. I took it. $600. Mind you, it had the original factory tires on it, which I have them down at the house right now. I'm gonna talk about these here in just a second. So I get it home, and you ain't gonna believe it. If any of y'all seen that meme from Sling Blade, I get it home. I put gas in it. Pulled that cord twice. It fired up and idled. Not a problem. Didn't even hesitate. And then I checked the hours on it, right? Because by this point, by the time I did that, once it started, the electrics worked. So I checked it out. You ain't gonna believe this. And I've put miles and hours on it. This is a 2005. 1,437 miles. 374.9 hours. Now, it was 364 hours when I got it. So, I basically put 10 hours on it myself. I'll turn that back off. 10 hours. It don't even burn oil. With those 10 hours on it, it is still at the same exact oil level as the day I got it. Now, I'm going to do a tune-up on it. I've just been breaking it in, making sure nothing's going wrong with it. It don't even smoke. It barely has the little valve rattle to it, which is common. People who know about these older Hondas, they get the old Honda tick to them. It's no big deal. You just adjust the valves, and on these, it's not a big deal. Pretty easy to do. Runs good. It's great on gas. I could have, on the 10 hours I've rode it, I could have probably just filled it up the one time on gas, but I've topped it off. So, it's still full on gas. The gas gauge, now you can't read it. It's cloudy. I'm sure the camera ain't gonna pick it up. Kinda. It's at just under half a tank. It works. I watched it when I filled it up with gas. It actually worked. I'll get me a new one anyway, because that cover, you can't read it. I like to read it, quick glance. I don't want to pop the cap off just to see it. But at nighttime, you're not going to see that. Either way. It also had, now mind you, this ain't going to be mounted right, but it's got a winch. A little 2,500 pound one. Came from Harbor Freight. I need to remount that, but the problem is there's that bolt and on the frame. You see it's kind of bent back. I'm gonna have to get something to be able to get that bolt out, to be able to get that winch off. But I hooked up some wires to it. I pulled that cable out. It works too. So there's no way. So I got a $600 four-wheeler. Don't look at the wheels. So with the original wheels, with that front rack smashed in, it ran and drove after I got it home, put gas in it, with a working winch for $600 with low miles and original owner. Or not original owner. All the original books. The only thing it didn't have was its actual title. But you know, so people don't keep up with the titles on these old four-wheelers. So I ended up, I was at work and I seen these wheels and tires. They were just sitting in the corner of the shop, and I asked somebody, I was like, hey, whose wheels and tires are those? Oh, them's Boss Man's. Okay. I go over to Boss Man. I ask him, I'm like, hey, would you be willing to sell, or I was like, what's going on with those wheels and tires back there in the corner of the shop on the table? Oh, them things, they've been sitting back there the last 2-3 years. Took them off he had a 2017 Pioneer 1000. So, okay. I said, would you be willing to sell them? He's like, yeah, I might could get rid of them. He's like, he asked me what I'd offer for them. I said, I'm not sure. Let me look them up. I've never heard of MSAs. I've never had aftermarket wheels and tires on four-wheelers before. I've always had stocks. And I was like, let me kind of do a little bit of research in it, and I'll get back to you with a number. I said, okay. I'm over here, and it's only been a few minutes. He comes looking. Now, these are MSA M30 rims. All four of them. Now they get a little curve, not rash, but scratches from rocks and stuff. It's gonna happen. They were on a four-wheel drive Pioneer. They're gonna get marks, and I'm sure I probably put a couple on there myself. This side's a little bit dirtier. I've cleaned it kind of, but you know, it's been raining. It's been getting wet and dirty. But as I looked it up, as soon as I finally found the exact models of these rims, I seen how much they were going for. I'm like, man, these things new with tires are like two grand. And he's walking over. He's like, well, what you think, Nick? I was like, well, man, sir. I said, I don't think I'm gonna have enough money to offer you. He's like, you never know. What would you offer? My co-worker, he chipped in. He said, I'll give you $150 for him. He's like, no. He's like, Nick came and talked to me first. He said, Nick, what would you take for him? I said, well, I can do 160. The reason I did 160, for one, I was going to offer less money. But my coworker, I had already threw a number out there. Fuck. Like I said, I was only comfortable with really only spending $100 out of my paycheck, but now he's got a number in his mind, even though it wasn't a number that I offered. And for two, I like to do increments of $20 bills because of the ATM. I didn't want to deal with the bank itself. I just want to quickly hit the ATM and go about my business. He said, so I said, all right, boss. I said, right now, I said, the only thing I can offer is $160. I said, that's all I've got to spare. He said, load them up. So that is two great deals. Now, this was within the same week. This was actually the very next day. It was July 4th I got this. It was July 5th when I offered for these wheels. I ended up, we already figured out that the bolt pattern was different because the Honda Pioneers got a larger bolt pattern than the Honda Ranchers. The Honda Ranchers are going to have the 4x110. And the Pioneers, the 2017 1000s, had a 4x, I think it was 117. I think it's 4x117. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I had to order wheel adapters. I spent $30 for wheel adapters. You can kind of see it up here in the front. Yeah, you can see the shiny wheel adapters. I had to get it all the way around. Now the thing is too, this is something I didn't think about when I ordered them. Over there, and that side's the most noticeable. But I was too excited and I didn't think about it. But I should have got some adapters that had some offset, because the rears don't stick out as far as the front, because the rims have the same exact offset on all four corners. Because like I said, they came off of a side-by-side. Four-wheelers don't have the same, you know, axle width as the front and rear, or track width, whatever you call that. But that's okay, because on the rears, they're kind of tucked in there anyway. You know, if you look from the side, it tucks in just perfectly. Now these are 29 by 10 by 16s. So this is like as big as you can go without needing a lift or cutting fenders. Now it does rub up here in the front, and where it rubs at is that metal bar, the support for the fender. It don't actually hit the plastic. Now when you flex it out, it'll hit this a little bit, you know, the under the headlight. Another problem I found out too, though, is because that rack was smashed in, this front plastic got messed up a little bit. It kind of looks a little bit more sloped than it should be. And the bucket behind this headlight is broke. So I got zip ties kind of pulling that bucket forward to keep that headlight from falling out. Because it will fall out. With the rack smashed in, it was holding it in. You can see a mark right there where this bar was actually pushed up against that. It was pushed in a pretty good little ways. I looked at it. The frame side of the ATV is fine. It's only these bolt-on parts that's screwed up. I've seen some bolt-on bumpers that I'm interested in. I'll eventually order it. I'm not too worried about it, but I'm gonna get one that I can take that winch and mount onto it, which I got to get a controller for that winch. Not gonna be a big deal. Those ain't gonna cost too much money. Another thing was that the starter was in fact still broken. I say broken, it's locked. It don't work. It just clicks. I've actually got one on the way. Ordered it, 30 bucks. This is I swear, in this current economy, this was a deal of a lifetime. I've been seeing these exact four-wheelers. Exact, you know, two-wheel drive, even with just the stocks on it. Mind you, it's not perfect shape on the body, but most of everything's there. The seat ain't too bad. I mean, it's only up here on the horn, which seats are like 30 bucks on Amazon for these replacements. The stickers, everything is legible. I mean, it's a little dirty, but it's legible. It's all there. And this cover's missing. That's the really only thing that's missing is that cover for that little dry box there. Next paycheck, I'll order one. Get a matching one. But oh, and this piece of the fender on this side, I guess it got broke or someone cut it or something, but it's just a little bit of it, not too much. The electric shift works fine. It goes through all the gears just fine. It's in good shape. The power outlet. Now it's missing its little rubber cover, but it works. Everything works. The headlights work, tail lights, brake lights, all of it. Crazy deal. But these exact foolers going for the same condition. People are asking, you know, $1,500 for these things for a two-wheel drive with stock tires on it. So I have basically under $1,000 in it, and I have a winch. Now the light bar I already had. As you can tell, wasn't really made for this, so I got it kind of zip tied on there, but it's on there pretty good. It barely even jiggles. It ain't going nowhere. It works. I did that one correctly. I put a fuse in it. I've never actually put a fuse on a light bar before. But yeah, I figured I would just share my excitement for my deal. I haven't had a four-wheeler in years, especially not a rancher. I haven't had one of them in a long time. The last four-wheeler I had, it was a Honda Recon, so it was a 250cc, not a 350. So, and I've taken it out, and with these tires, it still turns these 29s just fine. And I think I have a higher top speed of it because of it too. A little bit, not a whole lot, nothing crazy. But it still does what it's supposed to. And I'm happy with it. But anyway, guys, yeah, this is just my little update. Oh, and off topic from the four-wheeler. I also bought a kayak a couple months back. I've been doing some kayaking. Now I can start doing some four-wheeling and all that good stuff. So I'll finally get to start spending more time outdoors. I'm thinking eventually I will I might start doing some like vlogging, like ATV vlogging kind of thing, and if I can get like if I can get some like waterproof cameras or whatever, and do that with ATV, going down my trails around where I live, and maybe some kayaking stuff, kind of show you when the water levels are good enough too, when I get a camera, show some of these rivers around here. I live at the bottom of the Ozark mountain range, so I've got plenty of rivers and trails to hit. But anyway, guys, yeah, y'all just stay tuned. I don't know next time I'll upload. I don't know. I really haven't been doing too much like PC gaming or anything lately, so I haven't been doing any recordings or anything like that. I've just been working a lot, which, by the way, the job I have, I'm on call a lot, so I have like no time to record or do anything like that. Like today is like one of my few days off, and it's a Sunday, and I'm not on call today, but I'll be back on call tomorrow. But yeah, so we'll try to get some content out to you guys. And like I said, if y'all really want me to do some ATV stuff and kayaking stuff, let me know. And if y'all know about any good cheap, like good I wouldn't say action cameras, but like cameras I can take with me and not worry about getting water on them, and they work just fine, please suggest something to me, something that's not gonna break the bank account. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all being around, and we'll see y'all later.